McCain campaign is fighting back again today, including John McCain himself just this evening, against the second consecutive non-attack in 2 days. This time a non-attack that not happened on this very news program last night. In our fourth story this evening, much as Senator McCain supported going after Iraq, which also had not attacked, leaving Osama bin Laden to plan his next real attack, now McCain says Senator Jim Webb, speaking here on Countdown last night, was renewing the non-attack on McCain's military service that had not been launched by Wesley Clark, not on Sunday. Here's what Senator Webb, former Secretary of the Navy, decorated Vietnam vet, said after alluding to the Clark dust-up.
We need to make sure that we take politics out of service. People don't serve their country for political issues. And John McCain is my longtime friend. If that is one area that I would ask him to calm down on, it's that. Don't be standing up and uttering your political views and implying that all the people in the military support them, because they don't.
If you didn't think this was a coordinated attack on John McCain's credentials before, McCain's campaign says today, it's clear now that it is. Barack Obama's surrogates are telling the McCain campaign to calm down about attacks on his military record? Seriously? Now Wes Clark's attacks are John McCain's fault? It's absurd. If Barack Obama can't control his own surrogate operation, how can he be trusted to run the country? Tonight, McCain himself told reporters Obama should not just repudiate Clark, but, quote, cut him loose. Never mind that McCain's righteous outrage about a non-attack comes at the same time he fields a former Swift voter in his defense, part of the group that actually attacked, denigrated, lied about John Kerry's service. Never mind the disingenuous paradox of claiming a coordinated attack by, quote, uncontrollable surrogates. There is now explicit denial from Webb, a spokeswoman noting he made the same plea last year to Lindsey Graham on Meet the Press, and adding, quote, Senator Webb has never spoken with Senator Obama about this issue, nor has he spoken to Wesley Clark. Senator Webb's comments were not targeted at McCain's military service. Senator Webb has never and would never demean the service of anyone who has stepped forward to serve our country. And if that were not enough, Obama himself repeatedly, again today, saluting McCain's service, rejecting Clark's comments, and reiterating their irrelevance to America's problems.
I'm happy to have all sorts of conversations about how we deal with Iraq and what happens with Iran. But the fact that somebody on a cable show or on a news show like General Clark said something that was inartful about Senator McCain, I don't think is probably the thing that is keeping Ohioans up at night.
We asked the McCain campaign for something, anything, that specified what in Webb's remarks they felt was offensive and constituted an attack on McCain's military record. Their answer included the idea, quote, that John McCain should somehow calm down about attacks on his military record. In mathematics, that's known as a tautology. Let's turn now to Democratic strategist Chris Kofinas, former communication director for the campaign of John Edwards. Thanks again for joining us tonight, Chris.
Thanks, Keith.
There are real attacks on McCain's military service to be found out there. Some come from the left. A surprisingly large number come from the right. How does it serve McCain to pretend that mere references to his military service constitute attacks?
Well, it's the politics of mass distraction. I mean, the irony here is what the real agenda here is if you don't want to talk about the issues, if you don't want to talk about the solutions in terms of what you're going to do about gas prices, the economy, jobs, Iraq, anything that really matters to the American people, distract them with made-up issues like this in terms of people attacking John McCain's character. I mean, listen, could General Clark have said what he said a little bit more artful? Sure. But the notion that someone is out there attacking John McCain's patriotism is laughable. What is not laughable is that John McCain went out of his way to hire a guy, Colonel Day, who was a Swift boat member who attacked John Kerry's patriotism and his military service back in 2004. That's the part that I think disturbs me the most. It's that kind of hypocrisy that bothers people.
But one other thing about this, in the context, say, of the Charlie Black terrorism is good for McCain remarkable comments, the Obama camp just came back and said, this is, we're staying out of this, is your problem. Did Senator McCain go a little too far tonight by saying that Obama should, quote, cut loose General Clark? Is this like the wrong flame war to get into?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of doth protesting too much. I mean, again, the problem for the McCain campaign is they got nothing else left. I mean, what do they want to do? Talk about the issues? That's clearly not the case. The problem, I think, that you have if you're on the Democrat side is you don't want to get into this debate about, biographies and stuff. It's not really where the focus should be. You really want to focus on the issues that matter to the American people. I mean, listen, the American people are suffering. We're facing one of the most serious economic crises probably in the last 4 decades. That is where I think the attention should be. But the Republicans and the McCain campaign knows that. They don't want to talk about that. They want to talk about this. And so you're kind of stuck in this kind of catch-22 where you have to respond, but at the same time, you don't want to get caught in their game because that is what they want. They want to distract the American people, distract the media, and not focus on the issues that really matter because the reality is they don't have the solutions.
Are we seeing a strategy beginning to form here in the last couple of days that any slight reference to McCain's war service is going to be twisted around into kind of like as if they saw something in John Kerry's response in 2004 that they liked and figured they could make a campaign on? In other words, look at all these evil men attacking this former POW. Feel sorry for him. Vote for John McCain.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic considering they didn't really mind attacking Senator Kerry's patriotism in military service in 2004. In fact, they were eager about it. They bragged about it. They funded a group that did it incessantly. So the notion they're going to turn around and somehow besmirch General Clark and other Democrats and Senator Obama's name by suggesting they're out there attacking Senator McCain's patriotism, again, as I said, is laughable. I mean, the reality here is they are stuck in a catch-22, the McCain campaign. What else do they want to talk about? They got no solutions. They got no idea how they're going to lead this country, so they want to basically attack and manufacture this notion that somehow Democrats are out there attacking Senator McCain's patriotism. In fact, that's not the case. What they're attacking, and rightfully so, are Senator McCain's lack of ideas and lack of solutions and lack of direction as to how he's going to lead this country.
One practical question. There has been a media bias that sees things like the Swift boats, the lies in that about a Democratic war hero as fodder for debate, as a starting point, but innocuous Democratic opinions as attacks on a Republican war hero. That bias is there. How do Democrats knock it down?
I think you knock it down hard by pointing out the hypocrisy. I mean, the part that really struck me is the same day that John McCain is out there protesting and waxing poetically about how dare General Clark question Senator McCain's military service, what does he do? He goes out there and hires an individual that was out there in 2004 attacking John Kerry's patriotism military service. That's the part that I think is ridiculous. And it's that kind of hypocrisy that really, I think, weakens their argument. That's the line of attack.
Chris Kofinas, the former communications director on the Edwards campaign. Thanks as always, Chris.
Thanks, Keith.